Hey, fabulous listeners. Welcome back to Shut Up Chanel, where we dive deep into my LGBTQIA plus journey, celebrating the incredible individuals who have left a mark on my life. Today, we have a guest who has not only left an undeniable mark on the drag world, but has also redefined the adult entertainment industry. It's none other than the legendary Chi Chi LaRue. Chi Chi LaRue, a true pioneer in the adult entertainment industry, is a director, producer, DJ, and a force to be reckoned with. Her groundbreaking work has captivated audiences worldwide, pushing boundaries and setting new standards of creativity. As a business owner, Chi Chi has also made her mark, successfully navigating the complexities of the industry. Today, we're going to dive into the extraordinary life of Chi Chi, exploring how our paths first crossed, her remarkable journey into the world of adult entertainment, her experiences as a DJ and business owner, the challenges she's faced, and where she currently stands today. So, my darlings, join me, Chanel Perillo, as we embark on this exhilarating adventure through the extraordinary world of Chi Chi LaRue. From her unparalleled directorial genius to her unwavering determination to push boundaries, we'll unravel the fascinating story behind her iconic career and the magic she has brought into our lives. Get ready to be captivated, my darlings. Hit that subscribe button, hold on tight, and prepare to immerse yourself in the mesmerizing world of Chi Chi LaRue. It's time to experience the creativity, passion, and fearlessly expressive nature of this legendary figure. And remember, stay connected with us on social media for the latest updates and exclusive content. Join the conversation on Instagram at Shut Up Chanel Pod. Watch our videos on YouTube at Shut Up Chanel Pod as well. And I urge you to please, please, please join my Patreon channel. That's where I post the full videos. It's at patreon.com/shutupchanel. All right, stay fabulous. I love you.
Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, Chanel. Chanel, shut up. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, Chanel. Shut up, shut up, shut up, Chanel.
Oh, there she is.
Hi, girl.
How are
Oh
you?
my God, you look gorgeous. Are those new lips?
No.
Oh my God, you look amazing.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Sure.
It's been a minute.
I know. It's been more than a minute. It's been a couple minutes.
Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And is that where you live now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So part of this podcast, I've been kind of like going through my journey and all of like the fabulous people that I've like met along the way.
Yeah.
And I was sitting down watching that Max documentary, Lethally Blonde, the other day.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with the first episode. So I was like really excited to watch the second episode. And it was called The
Yeah.
Porn Identity. And I'm like watching it. And then you're on my TV screen. And I got all nostalgic. And I'm like, oh my God, Chi Chi like was totally like like I've known you since the beginning. And so
Yeah.
I was like, it's time for us to catch up.
Yes, I agree.
So I like to start off every episode with like, how do you remember us meeting? Like, I want your kind of like bring me back to then.
Well, I'm sure it was something to do with a party or something going on. I don't know, maybe a detox is how I don't know. Um, uh, God, I'm sure it has something to do with drag and something to do with
Mhm.
partying and something to do with an event or something. Something. I don't. Do you know?
Well, that's why I was like kind of hoping that you knew because I was like, I don't remember like the first time we ever met, but I know that it was in the beginning. Like when I first
Yeah.
started hanging out in West Hollywood, I mean, like you were a fixture of West Hollywood. You still are. Like the legacy will never
Yeah.
leave West Hollywood.
Yeah.
But like I remember when I was like first starting to meet everyone, you were a fixture and you were always, you were
Who were
either
you best friends with? Who were you?
I mean, so I started on Drag Race with Raja, like was like my main girl. And
Right.
then
Okay.
I met Detox through Raja. And I feel
Right.
like Detox and Rhea kind of introduced us, I feel like.
Okay. Well, Detox and we kind of hung in the same circles because she dated a boy that I had discovered, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, he passed away. Do you remember him?
Is it her boyfriend that passed away?
Yes.
I never knew that. I never knew that when I first became friends with Detox, it was after he had passed away, but I'd heard the story
Oh, okay.
a
Okay. Yeah.
bunch of
Yeah.
times, but I didn't know that I didn't know he was a porn star. I don't know any
Yes.
of the
I,
realty.
I kind of discovered him, and he got into the business and um, met Detox, and they hit it off really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be her, her handbag for a
Mm-hmm.
while, and then I
Mm-hmm.
think they started dating. It was a tumultuous relationship, I believe, and I mean, he had a lot of issues, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel really bad for him because he was such a sweet guy. And I know Detox probably put up with a lot. I mean,
Mm-hmm. I
but
remember that being like a dark period of her life for
yes,
sure. And
yeah.
so that's, oh my gosh. So that's, but you were already like, before meeting Detox, you were already a fixture in West Hollywood.
Well, yeah, I've been directing porn for like 50 years, 40, a long time. And I met Detox, at with Rhea
Mm-hmm.
and with all the girls when I was DJing at Here Lounge and for
Mm-hmm.
Paul Nichols. And
Mm-hmm. Now we're getting there. Now the memories are unlocking. Because
yeah,
it was for sure Here Lounge that we for
okay.
sure first started hanging.
And I
Like,
would do the white party. I would do the VIP at the white party, and with all the girl Morgan and
mm-hmm.
Rhea and Detox and Kylie and
Mm-hmm.
all the girls.
I know. For those like younger people listening, I feel like just tuning in, like to put it in perspective, like in West Hollywood, like you were working like every night of the week. You were,
Yeah,
you were a DJ. You also do drag, and then you were also like known as this, like people would always be like, she directs porn, and like
yeah,
that's how I knew you, as this like porn director. But I had no idea after I watched that HBO Max interview. Like I went and like did all this reading and like
yeah.
saw that like you had been like, you were kind of at like the brink of like gay porn.
Well, I there was gay porn way before me, but I
Yeah,
came in 1986.
that's the year I was born.
What? Oh my God. Yeah. So I came in 1986 and started working for probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest porn director, William Higgins and Catalina Video. And then I just kind of like, I wanted to direct. I wanted to be the queen of the maze. So I
Mm-hmm.
did everything I could to work because I was really good at discovering guys because my drag would take me out to these fabulous places, and in fabulous places there's fabulous men.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, and I'm a
Yeah.
casting director, and I always looked at like you as like your director, but like you also, we actually did get to work together once because I was casting. Remember this story?
Was it the
Okay.
jealous of my boogie video?
No, so Avita, oh, that would have been fierce if I worked on that, but
Oh,
no.
okay.
So I was at Avita. I was hosting at Avita for a while, the
Yes,
original
yes.
Avita, and Marco and I wanted to do a fashion show there. And we
Right.
knew that now Delilah's is there, but before Delilah's, it was some other venue. And before that, it was Peanuts. But that venue, Peanuts, like where Peanuts
Oh,
was,
Peanuts. Yes, I mean, girl, I used to go to Peanuts. Oh,
uh,
scandal. A scandal.
that
Yeah.
venue housed Vita for like a couple months, and we knew that they had a license because it used to be like a strip club back in the day, so like nudity
Right.
was permitted. And so
Well,
Mark
I DJ'd at Avita at
Block,
the back lot or at the
Summer
when it was
Tramp,
where?
Summer Tramp.
No, it was at Studio One, or not Studio. In the back area, the back, the what was that place called?
Oh, like where Mr. Black's was, like a Avalon in Hollywood.
No, what the hell is that big building on Robertson that? they did some porn awards and stuff there, and it was like you'd have to go up those
The
long.
stairs.
Yes.
Yes. Across from the Abbey. Yes. I think
Yes, but they would
Abbey
always have a Vita down in the kind of in
Rasputin.
that
I think you're thinking,
courtyard.
yes. And then Rasputin was there too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Rasputin. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Same. It was both Andres
No,
and
it wasn't
Luke.
a Vita. It
It
wasn't a
wasn't a
Vita. It was
Vita.
Rasputin. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Rah,
It
rah,
was
Rasputin.
that was
Yeah.
one of the funnest parties ever.
Oh, so fun. So fun.
So fun. But we knew that that venue, like you could have nudity. And so Marco was like, had this idea and he's like, tell me if you think I'm crazy, but I want to do a fashion show for the underwear, but I want the guys to take off their underwear at the end of the runway. And I was like, Marco, how the fuck am I going to cast models that want to take off their underwear? And he was like, why don't you
Porn
just
stars.
porn stars? So I was like, how am I going to find porn stars? And Rhea Latre was like, you need to call Chi Chi LaRue.
Yeah.
I called you and you sent me the hottest guys. I slept
Okay,
with
good.
I slept with two of them.
Which two? Which two?
And that was kind of this point in my this point in my journey where like I just realized that like gay porn stars, a lot of them were straight or bisexual.
Well,
And
yeah, gay for pay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys right now in the part, the really gay ones, like I would consider the gay ones, like the Dylan Diaz and Tony Genius, and they're all doing bisexual scenes now and transsexual scenes. So people are broadening their horizons.
I love that. Every
Yeah.
fluidity.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it was such a like I just felt like I remember that period of my life being like I was young and I just remember being like I felt cool because it was like Rhea and all of them were like, I can't believe like you're fucking this guy or like
Yeah.
just knowing that like
Well,
all
that's because Rhea was jealous. She wanted to fuck them all.
exactly.
Yeah. And she did.
And
she did.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. Rhea got me. Rhea for sure. That was that period where it was just like, I felt like every weekend we were with porn stars.
You were, we all were. Yeah.
We all were. And that was the first time in my life I realized like how connected the adult industry was with drag queens and how hand in hand.
I just realized that I didn't turn my phone.
It's honestly going to be fine.
Okay.
Well, okay, so I want to kind of go back to the beginning though, because like there's so much I don't know about you. And I think it's like, I love hearing people's stories.
Okay.
And I kind of want, so like, take me back to the beginning. Like, I want to know like where you grew up and what kind of family did you have growing up?
Okay, well, I grew up in Minnesota. I was born in Hibbing, Minnesota, which is like the home of Bob Dylan and Kevin McHale, the basketball star. Wow, I lived there. I was popular in high school with the girls. I was very, I was effeminate. I was crazy. I was, I couldn't be as flamboyant as I would have been now if I was in high school. But I was teased a lot. But I got out of Hibbing. I went to 2 years of community college, and then I got out of Hibbing and moved to Minneapolis, and where I just let my hair down and just started doing drag and, entering a contest at First Avenue, and eventually was in Purple Rain with Prince. And in 1983, we filmed that. And
wait, what do you mean you were in Purple Rain?
I was in Purple Rain.
Like as yourself? Like what is the story
as
behind
Chi Chi
it?
LaRue in drag.
I never fucking knew that.
But I used to dress in hag drag. Like I would keep a mustache and I would dress really not pretty, just very hag drag. And
was that a choice?
Yeah, it was because I was insecure with myself. So, but then eventually one day, one of the drag queens here in Minnesota said, "Bitch, let's shave off that fucking mustache and let's paint you up and just see." Mm-hmm. And then there was a drag queen here named Dee who made me a couple of outfits, and I just did I just eventually, there was there was a club called the Townhouse where the drag shows would happen on Sunday, and they lost their director. So of course I stepped in as the show director,
Mhm.
and I was doing drag all the time. I was doing drag at First Avenue whenever they needed a special, like a New Year's Eve gig. We the guys and we had a group called the Weather Gals, and we would do the Weather Girls, lip sync the Weather Girls songs. And so we would do gigs around town and then do drag shows. And, we did that for a while. And one of the other Weather Gals and I moved to Los Angeles to be with one of the other Weather Gals who had already moved to Los Angeles. So we pulled into West Hollywood on Halloween night of 1985, and we went right down to the 4-Star Saloon and entered the contest and won the big $100 prize. So we were able to eat
Yeah,
for
that
a
was
little while.
that was a good amount for the
Yeah,
80s.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And so then eventually that drag queen she was a little addicted to the horribleness of that one stuff that we don't like, and she just didn't show up one night. And they were like, Chi Chi, you have to do it. You have to host the show. And I was like, ah. So I hosted the show, and guess what the show was called?
What?
Drag Race.
What year was this?
1980, 1986. And one night someone came in and entered the contest, and they won. And guess who that person was?
Rue fucking Paul. RuPaul
And
won Drag Race in 1985.
and she sang Star Booty, and she won the contest. And I remember one night I was doing the contest, and Dale Bosio from Missing Persons came in, and I was like, oh my God, someone go to Tower Records and buy her album. So they went and bought her album, and then she was there with some kooky friend some, gay fixture, and she was there with him. And I was like, come on, get up on stage and sing some songs. So she got up and sang some Missing Persons and Dale Bosio songs, which, this was when I was thinking, oh my God, I am in Hollywood. I am in the place where someone who I love, Dale Bosio from Missing Persons, just came into the bar to watch the drag show. And here I'm getting her up on stage, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, then, then Jeffrey Sanker kind of came into the thing one night and was like, you need to come and start performing at Studio One, hosting my things on Fridays and Saturday nights. So I did that. I stopped working at the 4-Star and went over to Studio One and started working for Jeffrey, and then started doing all these little Jeffrey Sanker things, and then eventually, coming to the white party and performing and just being a fixture at the white party. And then when I started DJing, he asked me to DJ the VIP area.
Okay.
And one of the most exciting nights of that was I DJ'd on the night that Lady Gaga performed at the white party, and she did a full motherfucking concert.
Yeah, I heard the stories from back in the day. It was like when a drag queen has like 20 backup dancers, and
she performed her entire concert. Well, then after she performed that, that was the pop explosion. The DJ, whoever it was, went from her right into tribal drug music, and everybody kind of short circuited. And they were like, you got to go back on the VIP because you need to go back on and play your pop music. So people were leaving in droves from that because the music was so hard that they all kind of piled into the little VIP area. And I played for another 3 hours in the VIP area of pop music. so that they could decompress.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's crazy.
So I got to meet Lady Gaga, which she was really nice and she was really quiet. But then, of course, then right away after that, she exploded and became Lady Gaga and was selling out,
Mm-hmm.
arenas. So, Jeffrey was always good for things like that. And, I could have straddled him and choked him many times in my life, but I loved him,
Oh,
and he always included me in things. So
God rest his soul. I feel like
yes,
he touched so many lives, and his
yes,
legacy for sure lives on.
yes.
Okay, let's go back a little bit because
Okay.
I've got some questions now. That's
I'm
really
sorry I
good.
skipped forward
No,
very fast.
I
Okay.
love it. No, it's good. You like laid it out for me. Um, okay, first question. My first comment is I performed the Weather Girls for the talent show in 5th grade.
Oh my God. It's raining men. Yeah.
I have no idea what, like, I think I had stole it. Like, I loved my mom's disco albums, like
Sure.
CDs. And I'm not that old. But
Well,
her
no, how old
CD,
are you? How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, well, I'm 64, girl.
You look so good.
Thanks. Yeah, she's, you know.
Oh my God,
When I was a child, I was a
my
kid.
mom's 66. So you had a full drag career before RuPaul was RuPaul. For the people listening that are
Yes, well,
younger.
RuPaul and I've been friends for, God, we've been friends probably since she entered that contest. But you know, we text each other every morning. She texts me sick, ridiculous text messages, and I text her stuff. And I just recently went and saw her in Manchester, um, doing her. She does a game show,
Okay.
and but she films it there, and it's supposed to be filmed in America, but what
That's
the hell is
fun.
it? Anyway, she invites me to everything she does, and except to
I
be
love
on that
that.
goddamn show. I want to be on that goddamn show. And whatever. But she
Have you ever said I want to be a judge?
oh yes, but that doesn't matter. They don't want me on there because of the porn.
Drag and
But she
porn go hand in hand.
well, and half the girls that are on those goddamn shows have done porn. Detox being
Detox.
one of them. Violet Chachki, fucking,
Drag them, drag them. Drag them.
so I she back in the day she wanted me to be the dean of drag for Drag U.
Lady Bunny's gig.
Yes. So she, of course, that's another one she's very loyal to.
It's true.
So
Which says a lot because it's like
yeah.
it does say a lot. I look at people that like have rose to fame and like kept their core group,
Well,
like
Michelle Visage, is hanging on to that teeth forever. But good for her because Michelle's fabulous.
I
So
fucking am so happy for Michelle. And I think
yeah.
it's like so awesome to watch a woman like thriving in her second act of her life. Like,
Yep.
she did the
Better
whole
than ever.
family. She had the family, she had the kids, she did all that. And then to get this like second act where like, and
Well, now
it's like
she's doing everything. She's like the
everything.
host of this, the host of that, on Strictly Come Dancing, on
Mhm.
all of it.
It's
So
empowering. It's empowering
good
for
for
me as
her.
a woman because I do think, especially like, yeah, we think we're going to get to this certain age and no one's going to care anymore. But
Yeah.
the gays still got us.
The gays will have you forever.
So how did you discover drag? Because I grew up in Minnesota.
Yeah. So
How did you discover drag? Because most of these, a lot of young kids, it's like they discovered drag through RuPaul, through television, through Instagram. Like, how did you discover drag and that it was something you wanted to do?
well, I don't know if I used to always dress up as some kind of woman for Halloween. I wanted to be Cher.
Cher's how you discovered drag.
Seriously.
Literally. Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean, but I always wanted to dress up like a woman, and that was always, because it was comfortable for me. It was fun. I didn't want to be a devil or a monster. I wanted to be some kind of woman. So
Mhm.
that's how I kind of started. And then when we started doing the Weather Gals in Minneapolis, I found it to be a network into being on stage and being popular and being known and being
Mhm.
recognized and being wanted. And I got what I wanted, I guess. You know, I've been doing this. I've been doing drag for a long time.
Yeah, you win. You win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I
win.
don't know if I don't know if Rue's been doing it longer than me, or
You're like the
not
same
sure.
generation. So it was
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
give or take 4 or 5
I mean,
years
I
from
know
one
Lady
another.
Bunny was doing it when they were using dust for powder.
Yeah. Lady
But
Bunny invented baking.
yes. Well, you know what? Lady Bunny's another one that,
I love her so much.
yeah, there's a lot of drag queens that I, look up to, and Lady Bunny, Sherry Vine. I mean, I brought Candace Kane out on her very first thing in the first time she was ever in drag to the Paris is Burning premiere with Madonna and Sherry and my friend Kevin and I and Candace went to the premiere of Paris is Burning, and then we went to the after party, and Madonna was there. So it was, to see Candace Kane now and to think that it was this little boy crawled into this limousine in drag that one night was, mind blowing.
You have like the best stories. I could like when you started the Weather Girls, so like the Weather Girls was a girl group.
Well, they were
Were there other
two
were
women.
there were two women and you were the drag queen?
No, 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 no. There was two women in the Weather Girls,
There's two women in
and
the
then
Weather
we
Girls.
were the Weather Gals. So we
Gals.
did their songs, and there was four of us boys, and we all dressed in hag drag. So, and
And
then
were
eventually
other queens doing this at the time?
hag drag.
Well, no, like performing as a girl group. Was that like a thing?
No,
This is what I
no,
mean. It's like you kind of
no.
like I'm looking
They
at
would
all the
do numbers
blueprints.
together. They would do numbers together, but we were always together. And then we started doing our own numbers, because there
Mhm.
was more tips involved. And we just kind of took over certain venues, and a lot of the drag queens in Minnesota did not like us because we were getting all the gigs and we were popular and we were funny and we could pack a house because we were so ridiculous. A drag queen getting up and lip sync to "I have nothing, nothing." I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, that's great and you look great, but these people want bitches that are going to throw themselves off the stage onto the tables. They want bitches that are going to, spin each other around and and knock each other over. And they want, drag is not a contact sport.
Yes.
So, you know, it's, we kind of made it fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of blueprints were laid out is what I'm trying to get at. Like, because
Yeah.
I've never heard of like a drag girl group in the 80s until the Weather Gals.
Right.
Is that how you got in the Prince video? Like, did someone reach out to you?
Well, we were performing at First Avenue a
Okay.
lot, and that's where
They
the
saw
majority
you.
of the movie was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it takes place at First Avenue. The scene I was in was with Apollonia 6 when they sang Sex Shooter. I was sitting in front of them, and the whole concept of that scene is so not what it was. It was a talent show, and the women entered the talent show. Apollonia 6 entered the talent show,
Okay.
and they win. But at the end of all the filming, Prince, I think, watched the movie and wasn't in it enough for his liking, and so he had, and Morris Day was stealing the show, and so he had them edit it greatly. to cut out a lot of Morris and put him more in it. So to put him more in it meant cutting down more of the stuff so that he was more the center of attention. And so, I mean, I had a line and everything in the movie, but it got cut out. I was so mad. I went to the premiere here in Minnesota, and I just remember watching and my line not happening, and I was like, "Make this movie, let's go!"
So
But we didn't.
did people know you for being in the Prince music video? I mean, in the Prince video, like, did it give you
No,
street
because I was
cred?
hard. I knew where I was in the movie, and some of my friends did, but you would never, if you didn't know, you would never know.
Mhm.
You can see the back of my head when I'm dancing, when I'm moving to Apple 6 singing Sex
Mhm.
Shooter. But, I know that I was there and I loved it.
And then how did DJ coming up? How did becoming a DJ come about?
Well, I'm a director and I'm a control freak. And
Mhm.
I remember going to Fubar
Okay. Oh,
and,
rest in peace, Boo Bar.
the best. So much fun. Do you
That
remember
was
Dirty, do you remember
oh
Dirty Deeds?
yes.
Oh, the best. So Jackie Beat was DJing there every once in a while, and Jay,
Mhm.
the owner,
Jay
you know,
Kremis,
he was
shout out.
he
Love
was a
Jay.
sweetheart. I love him so
We have
much.
the same birthday.
Oh, really? He's the sweetest
I had
and the cutest.
a joint birthday with him at Foo Bar once.
Oh,
Like
how fun!
I so fun.
Yeah.
I just love them.
Well,
I'm from South Jersey, so like him and his wife are like my people.
did you feel the earthquake? I'm kidding. Um,
I'm not in New Jersey anymore.
are you Italian?
I'm Italian.
Okay, me too.
I know, and I never knew that. And then I saw Paciotti, Basciot
Basciotti. Yeah,
Basciotti,
Basciotti.
Basciotti. Are
Yeah,
you Southern Italian? Are you
I am. Yeah.
Sicilian?
Oh, where's the lighter people?
Oh, Northern. So you're Northern.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm darker.
yeah. No, my dad was, this little Italian. I mean,
Oh,
my grandma Fasciati, the food that my grandma cooked and taught my Norwegian mother how to cook was, to this day, I've never found food like,
I
you know what I
know.
mean,
It's why
girl?
I like cooking for myself too, because it's just like I just get disappointed sometimes when I
Yeah.
get like when I
You
get
go out
food.
and eat Italian food and you think, okay, well, that shouldn't be in there.
Unless I'm in Italy. That
Yes.
Italy.
Oh my God. Well,
But
I
anywhere
mean,
else, but that's so cute because my grandma taught my mom because my mom was like more Irish than
yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my grandma was such an Italian, like, and so that was like before they even got married. My mom was like, my grandma was like, I have to teach you how to cook for my
Well, my
son.
mom used to make the raviolis for Christmas Eve. I know that usually on Christmas Eve it's supposed to be the seven fishes, but we had ravioli every
Lasagna. We were
yeah,
lasagna.
yeah.
And the
So,
raviolis. And like the ravioli plates were like this big.
oh,
Like they always fed like they always cooked like there was like 35 people
that there was
coming
going to
over.
be 7,000 people, but
Yeah.
then everybody left with some at the end of the night.
My mom still
So,
does that.
yeah,
It's cute.
yeah. So, I'm sorry, what were we talking about before we got off of the food bit?
How you became a DJ. So you were like,
Oh,
you
so
got to
Fubar.
LA. Like, I'm just trying to like, yeah, I'm just trying to like picture it. Like you get to LA, you like start, making a name for yourself. How does
Yeah.
DJing come about?
Well, I was going to the clubs and I couldn't,
Because
like
everyone's
most
a
people.
DJ now, but no one was a
Yeah,
DJ. No one was a DJ back then.
right. Well,
So that
everybody's a DJ now, but it's like, so I couldn't stand the music people were playing at clubs. So I was like, I need to get in there and I need to be playing Kylie Minogue and Danny Minogue, and I need to be playing, and I need to play some rock and roll, the Runaways and Kiss and all the things. And Jackie was that kind of DJ also.
okay.
So she was DJing at Foo Bar, and one night she just said, well, do you want to come and just do it one night on one of my gig nights, and I'll just let you go back there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your stereotypical DJ. I'm not a mix master. I call myself a drag queen jukebox. I don't, I have musicality. I don't have mixing. I don't listen to the headphones. My wig's too big and in the way, and the hats I wear. And, you know, it's, I'm not, I'm not a mix master. And now Trixie Mattel is like, Miss DJ, mix master, hotel owner. And I don't DJ on a computer because I can't see because I'm too old. So I DJ on thumb drives, and I need to have a certain player that shows me the songs, and the numbers need to count down, and then I know when to start the next song, and there's no gaps. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm good. I can never DJ a circuit party, that's for sure.
But I
But
feel like you've DJ'd White Party. You haven't?
the VIP room at the white party.
Ah, okay. There you
I
go.
can do VIP rooms, and I can do, you know, like I just got back from Dallas, Texas, and I'm going back to Dallas, Texas to DJ at the Eagle, and I'm DJing the closing party at Gay Days in Orlando. So, and I've DJed Orlando Gay Days many, many times, and they
Mm-hmm.
want the kind of music that I play. I don't play mind-numbing, no-word music.
No.
That no, I
You
don't.
want
I
you
play
like creating a vibe. Like,
gay, happy music and fun and words, and I like to slip in a little hip hop, and I like to slip in a little, you know, 90s, 2000 Britney Spears, you know,
did
just
you
the
watch
gays.
so did you watch West Hollywood change? Like, how did how did West
Wasp,
Hollywood
the worst
change?
Hollywood.
The worst Hollywood. Did
Um,
you watch West Hollywood change as
yeah,
far
I
as
hated it.
like
I
you
hated it.
tell
Well,
me
I
why?
was drinking a lot. I was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I at first it started out fun, and then it got bad. And as most alcoholics do, they get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to, my company did an intervention and flew me to Minnesota to go to Hazleton. And, you know, I, I, I was
I
getting
think
over.
I think I was with you one of your last weekends drinking because I remember we were on this drag cruise. And
Oh, yes.
after the drag cruise, you were like, I'm taking a break. I need to focus
Yeah.
on my mental health. And
Yeah.
I remember that specifically because I
Was
remember
that one
you.
of the last drag cruises?
Yeah,
Or the last?
I don't know if it was the last, but it was definitely one of them. And I
Yeah.
remember you had a room next to Sharon Needles because I would see you in the
And I had
hallway.
in the hallway with Raja, because you could smell Raja's pot all night long. But those were fun.
They were so fun. I talk about the drag race cruises all the time because they also weren't fun, but it was like what like it was like,
Yeah, they were a lot of work, and they were a lot of whatever, but they were, you know, the night that we did that roast of Michelle Visage
oh
was
my God,
so
that was
fun.
so
Bianca Del
fun.
Rio, yes.
That was, yeah. And it was like, and it was drag was just kind of starting to like become this like mainstream thing and like
Well, the
garnish all
RuPaul
this.
Drag Race girls were just starting to take over. Well, now you could turn over a rock and you find a drag race girl.
It's so, I remember I could count like,
Yep.
I could count the queens, like you could sit
Yeah.
there and you could count the
Yeah.
ones. And then now it's like different countries. It's a
Uh-huh.
lot.
RuPaul's Drag Race Cambodia.
So you become a DJ. Does West Hollywood get better now that you're playing funner
Well,
music?
I traveled a lot because I did a lot of out of town gigs. So I was traveling a lot. I was traveling to do the movies. I was traveling to do the gigs. I would come back to West Hollywood. I was, living above my means, spending too much money, buying too much drag, um, just becoming a drag hoarder, which would be actually a really good show that I wanted to pitch to World of Wonder. Drag hoarders, could you imagine? Because all drag queens are hoarders. I'm sorry, they are.
Yeah, because you
And
never know when you're going to need this.
right, exactly. At least it's clean hoarders. At least it's not diapers and jars of piss.
Yeah, it's glitter
It's
and
jewelry and wigs. Yeah.
yeah.
So I
Visually, that show would be amazing.
you imagine going into like, I don't know, anybody's Latrice Royale's drag closet?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
like after they come home from tour when it's like a mess.
And the suitcase explodes and yeah.
There's always that one suitcase that just hasn't been opened in like 10 years.
Oh, I have one that I haven't opened for a week. It's sitting over there. Yeah.
I know it. I know it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you were touring.
there's that skirt that I've been looking for 3 months.
And it's whenever I get rid of something that I need it.
Absolutely.
It's every time. So you're touring, you're DJing.
Yeah.
When does now let's get into the good shit. When did you start working in adult entertainment?
Well, 1986.
Okay, so right after you moved to LA.
Yes. I got a job at Catalina and was
But
selling.
what were you doing there? Like, how did you get the job? Did you reply
I
to
was
an
I was
ad?
selling. Yes, I answered an ad in Edge magazine. You're too young for that, but Edge was like the Frontiers or like the gay rag.
Okay.
So, and I answered the ad and I went in and they hired me immediately because I knew so much about their product. And, I was very knowledgeable. And so I started selling. And I did not want to do that. I wanted to be where the naked boys were. And I wanted to, so eventually I got out of that and I started art directing the photo shoots.
Now, when you say
And
selling, you were selling like VHS
I was
porn
calling
videos?
stores and distributors saying, we have Power Tool ready to go. And how many copies do you want? Well, then it was like, well, I'll take, 1,000 copies of Power Tool. Now I'll take 3 copies of Power Tool, or the new movie, whatever it is. But,
Yeah.
porn is not what it used to be.
I was gonna say, like, I can't even imagine. Like, first of all, people don't have like the attention span to like sit and watch a porn movie anymore.
So now they look at it on their phone in the airport. So it's like, it's not a whole session unless you make it that, where you get the lube, you get the dildo, you get it all.
Well, and it was so different now. Yeah, you'd have to like go into the store, you'd have to buy it, you'd have to like it was like going to a blockbuster.
Even the bookstores and things are going away. So you can't really.
I know what's happened because you were weren't you an owner of Circus of Books at one point?
Well, Circus of Books was an institution that has been there for a while, but then we bought it, which I'm no longer with that company. So we bought it. I had Chi Chi LaRue's on Santa Monica next to Mickey's. And, once, Chi Chi LaRue's was very popular. It did well. Now they've renamed it to Circus of Books West Hollywood. And, we didn't have booths or anything like that, but, we sold. The thing that sold the most was poppers.
You're right. I lived. So Raja ended up giving me her apartment that was a block from Circus of Books, and I lived there for like a good 4 years.
Okay.
And yeah, like I mean, I used to buy poppers back in the day to be cool, and I used to totally get that my poppers and parliaments at Circus of Books.
Parliament cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the closest like place. Because I remember when I first moved there, Raja was like, if you ever need cigarettes, just go into Circus of Books. And so that was like that was my cig stop.
That's another popular item that cigarettes are a big item. Poppers,
So you're selling VHS tapes, working for this company called Catalina. Catalina was like the production company that made porn.
Catalina was one of the biggest gay porn producers and companies in the business. And, there was Falcon and there was, others, but Catalina and Falcon were the biggest.
And where were they located? Was this in the Valley?
Well, San Francisco or Falcon was in San Francisco.
Okay.
And Catalina was in the Valley,
Was in the Valley. So you were working there doing like sales, and then you're like, I want more for myself. And then what happened?
Well, I want to direct, or I want to be where the boys are. So they let me I want to be where the boys are. So I started art directing the photo shoots, which, back then we would do a photo shoot of a boy that would take literally 10 hours. because they would do 3 different costumes. I mean, it was so ridiculous. Nowadays, you take 10 pictures and you're good and you're done.
Literally on your phone.
Well, yeah, not far from that.
Oh my God. So yeah, you were doing but how did that happen? You were just like, you just spoke up and were like, I want to creative
Yes.
direct, and they let you?
Yes, and William Higgins, who, like I said, was one of the biggest directors in the business, he gave me my chance.
I love
And
that.
yeah, so he thought, I was he would come down to the 4 Star and watch me do these drag shows, and he would, stand and he would play a video game, or he would just watch the boys, and then he would call me over and say, "Go ask that one if he wants to do movies."
Oh, wait. Okay, wait. So you would recruit porn stars.
Oh, to this day, I'm still recruiting porn stars. Yes.
What is your approach?
Well, back then it was like, "Hi, have you ever thought about doing porn?" I mean, and I found a lot of people. I discovered Alex Stone there, which was one of the biggest stars, that he had come in to the bar, and I asked him. And then one night I was on stage and he tipped me with an envelope, and in the envelope was a bunch of naked pictures of himself. And I was like, "You're hired." I mean, I find people everywhere. I find people in Canada. I find people in Texas. I find people in New York and in Cleveland and everywhere. So nowadays I go on Twitter, and if I see a boy that's not, that's new, I'll send him a message saying, "Have you ever thought about, doing studio work?" Because a lot of these guys are already doing OnlyFans.
It makes it a little bit like now, yeah. I feel like a lot back in the day it was more secretive and it was easier to
Yes.
hide things. Now everything's out there, so it's like,
Well, now it's not as easy to make money on OnlyFans because there's only a few people that make a lot of money. Nowadays that's saturated too.
mm-hmm.
And Just for Fans. I mean, I like Just for Fans because it's gay owned and operated, and OnlyFans is kind of like I think more towards the women. And I mean, for God's sake, I think Aubrey O'Day has an OnlyFans.
Literally, I just hit people up on Instagram and I'm like, have you ever thought of being on reality TV? But it's literally
Wow.
the same approach. And I'm like the same thing as you. Like if I see a guy with like a bunch of shirtless selfies and
Yeah.
no girlfriend in sight, like I know
Yeah.
that you want to be on a reality show. Like
Absolutely.
I know you
They're
do.
show-offs. They're exhibitionists.
Exactly.
And reality stars are exhibitionists.
It's not too much farther than sex
No.
work. You know what I mean? Or being a porn star.
I mean, these women that are on, Vanderpump Rules and all these different women that are on these, Fantasy Island or Love Island or whatever. I mean, come on.
No,
So
it's like they know.
yeah.
So you start directing, and then did that just take off? Like, how did it go from you just starting to direct to being like this huge?
Well, I
name?
started, and then, I started and I directed, my first couple movies, and they got good recognition. And not too long after, I think like a year after I started, I won Best Director at the big porn awards. So it was quick. It was quick. I won Best Director probably.
No, I looked on Wikipedia and it's like Best Director, Best Director, Best Director,
Yeah,
Best Director.
I don't need to win that anymore. That I like when the guys win stuff or the crew win stuff, or I like when the people that work with me win stuff. I don't need to win Best Director anymore. I mean, all my trophies are at Circus of Books.
What do you think set you apart from other porn directors?
Because I really love doing it, and I really love the people that are working on it. I'm like the porn mother.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's probably because you're finding these people too, because I find that in casting, you build this like relationship with one another, and
you become the point of you're the starting point.
You're the starting point. So they're always going to look back on their career and be like, thank God I met, like that's the person that got me. So you do kind of also get this like motherly
but then
figure
you also
with them.
Get, Chanel, I have a problem. Oh, Chanel, help me with this. Chanel, God, what am I going to do? Yep. And you become the counselor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. You know, I am really good at directing sex. I'm I really know what people want to see. And nowadays people are just slapping things together. And yeah, I still think I am one of the best directors that's ever done it. And if I haven't directed anything for a while, I'm the dinosaur. So I'm hoping that one day I get to go back and start keep directing. But thank God for drag and thank God for drag gigs. Yeah.
What are like the top, like what are the keys to a great porn scene?
Well, first of all, which I'm an expert as, is casting two guys together, making sure I know what they like, what they will do, what they won't do. You never make anybody do anything they don't want to do. You find out their do's and don'ts. You find out everything about them that you can so that you make sure to respect their needs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are some people in the industry that don't respect people's needs and don't respect people, and they get people on the set and then they
Mm-hmm.
spring something on them at the last minute because they
Mm-hmm.
think they're pulling the wool over someone's eyes. And, well, do you want your check? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people like that. And there are still some people like that in the industry. So, but I don't
I
never
love
been.
that you say it. Like it really does start with casting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. So, you cast and then you work over, I love doing location shoots. I love going to like, the Russian River or going
Mm-hmm.
to Palm Springs or going somewhere where we can all stay together and, go to dinner together and have fun together and get to know each other. So that's really fun for me. I mean, I really enjoy that.
It's like you make it an experience rather than
Yes.
a job.
Yes. Yes. And make everyone know that they're a part of the production. I mean, I'm not doing, it's not me that's bringing this all together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the director. I need to put the pieces together, and my pieces are the cast and the crew and everything involved. The person that's, usually I come up with the idea, but sometimes I have people write scripts, which is fun. I've made a lot of big scripted movies and they're fun. They're hard. It's better to just walk into a house and have somebody, oh, hey, are you walking around in your underwear? Yeah, you think that's hot? Yeah, I think that's hot. And then, you know what I mean? You can make a porn scene out of anything. Planting a
Anything.
tree, planting a tree, doing the dishes, um, folding the laundry. You can make a porn scene out of anything.
I really thought as a little girl I would be sleeping with more pizza delivery men.
Sure, I think a lot of gay boys a lot of gay guys back then thought, I don't ever remember the pizza delivery guy hitting on me and, giving me his pepperoni instead of the pizza.
Do you have a favorite porn that you've directed? If you had to pick
Yes.
one.
Oh God, I've had to pick one.
I mean, you can give me a couple.
Well, I did a movie called Wrong Side of the Tracks, which was starring Johnny Hazard, which was amazing. I also did one called Heaven to Hell, which I did a sequel called Earthbound, and those together are definitely a favorite.
What makes them your favorite?
The production value, the people, the sex, the good times, the remembering of what happened during the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some awful experiences. Absolutely awful.
Worst experience. Tell me. I need to know.
Oh God. Other people tell this as their worst experience, and I think they got it from me. I swear to God. That
Okay.
I don't think this happens all the time. But so this new guy started and he was the bottom and he had to do, you have to douche and clean out. And
I know where this is going.
and so he went to clean out, but he didn't realize that he was supposed to expel the water. Thought they just shot the stuff up there and leave it there. And when it commenced, the top stuck it in and pulled it out, and everything came out with it.
It was like the soak section at a water park.
Oh God, it was horrifying. And I remember yeah, it was. And then, you got like fucking hour, you lose an hour because you got to clean up. And, then the kid's mortified and you got to bring him off the ledge, which, I do. And with the help of his co-star, thank God the co-star wasn't an asshole
Hmm.
and made him feel bad. So we commenced and we finished.
It's all about.
I've had people walk out. I've had people, I've had in the middle of a shoot, the location, people say, we've had it, we're done. You guys need to leave.
Hmm. Fuck. What's like the hottest sex scene to film?
Oh God, there's so many.
What's your favorite?
My favorite, I'm a rim queen. I love rimming.
Okay.
I'm very oral. I'm very oral. So when I first started, if I never had to film fucking, I wouldn't. But I knew that was what people wanted.
Hmm.
And I made a lot of movies. I was probably the only one that was making movies with no penetration, no fucking in it. It was all oral. And I made movies just about rimming. So, and they did well. People liked them. So, but I like kissing, I like intimacy, you know,
That's
I
so
like to go for
me. I literally, I'm like, if I could type in like romance in the porn, in the porn
yeah.
search engine, like
Well, that's a genre of porn, romance. It's
it is
absolutely.
like I like especially when it's fucking straight porn. I need
Yeah.
I need the woman to be safe. Like I don't want to
Well,
see
they really push it in that.
they do. Like I never want my face fucked. And
Choke her,
why
tie
are we
her up by her
why
ankles.
why are we
Yeah.
teaching men this? Like none of us want that.
Well, but the consumers want it, and
I
that's
know. It's crazy. But I love
yeah.
this. Rimming. Is this do you think like and would you teach guys how to properly rim? Like
And
are you good at
I
blowjobs?
I am. Yeah, I am, and I'm good at all that. But I would never show. God no. But
No.
when I was directing all the straight porn that I was directing for Vivid, I was directing Jenna Jameson, I was directing Savannah Sampson, I was directing all the girls from Vivid, and they loved me because I was into it. I was into dressing them up. I was into going shopping on Hollywood Boulevard and buying high heels and lashes and I would bring I would bring all my drag jewelry for the girls to put on, so they
They
lived for
felt
it.
safe with you for sure.
Yes.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. And
I can't believe
they
you
would
directed Jenna Jameson.
I directed her last 10 scenes.
Wow. Was she already like a big name by the time you were
Oh,
directing her?
hell yeah. Yeah, she had quite the deal at Vivid. It was insane. And
That's so cool.
she was only working with girls at the end and her boyfriend.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
As most of us are.
Yeah. So, she was great.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
loved her because she was so smart and you know didn't take any shit and just did her job and was fabulous at it.
She for sure like walked so a lot of women could run in the porn industry. Like she was a businesswoman, like you could tell.
Absolutely.
You could
Yeah,
tell.
she was.
Fuck. So I do. I mean, I would be like so insensitive to not ask, like, what was it like directing porn during the AIDS crisis?
Well, I
Because
embraced.
I'm a big documentary girl, and I've watched documentaries on how
Yeah,
crazy it was during that time, and so I'm just like
yeah.
so
Well,
curious.
I right away I started using condoms. So
Hmm.
I back when it started happening, I was working at Catalina and I wasn't directing, and I was pushing for the use of condoms, and they weren't using condoms. They were doing things like shooting non-oxynol 9 up the guy's butts, which is so bad because it's a freaking skin irritant. And
Wait, what do you
that's not
mean? What do you mean?
well, non-oxynol 9 is like a spermicide, and they would shoot it up the boys' butts, and then they would tell the guys that it was safe to have no condoms. But it was
Ah.
even less safe because the guys were getting irritated.
Oh, so they were like getting like open cuts almost.
Well, they
Oh
were
my
getting,
God.
rashes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which you itch and that causes like
Uh-huh. And it
that
was
is
internal. And it was internal.
oh
So it was
my
like,
God.
so I started pushing for condoms, and I actually, and I can say that with all the conviction, I'm the one responsible for getting people to use condoms in porn. Even in the straight porn. I never shot a movie without a condom. I have now, but I never shot a movie without a condom. Straight, gay, bi, anything.
I love that. And so
Yeah,
people probably felt safer with you because you
they
put your
did,
foot
but
down.
also people were angry at me.
Well, because I am curious about that too, because I remember the documentary I watched, there was like everything would be done on like your testing, you would like fill it out on a sheet, but then people were like lying about, they were just like, because back in the day you could just white out
Well, there
something.
was one guy,
Mhm.
very popular porn star, that lied about and he was HIV positive, and he infected some people in the industry.
But no,
Yeah.
that's the documentary I watched. Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. So
And then
yeah,
they
and
would
you were
go to,
you were there for all of that.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was scary. And, you know, as long as I did what I felt was protecting my people,
Mhm.
I was okay. You know,
Mhm.
I I protected my people.
You probably saved so many lives.
Well, let's hope so. I'm that makes me it makes me happy to know that I had something to do with that. But you know, it was met with a lot of backlash, especially from the companies that weren't using condoms. They were doing like crazy shit, like Dawson's 550 loads or whatever that it was called, Dawson's 110 loads or whatever. That boy that went fuck
Mhm.
110. Yeah, I and back then when those kind of movies came out, people like bought them up like crazy because they were so taboo.
It was like, yeah, it felt wrong.
Yep.
And people like to like feel like they're like doing something that's underground.
Yep.
That's why it like does scare me about this younger generation, just because it's like they're you don't have to
They're
try at
they don't
all.
they
Like,
never lived through it. They don't know. They don't understand what we saw, when walking down the street in San Francisco and everyone looked like the Walking Dead. So
mhm.
it was scary and sad. But now you don't hear about it
That's what
as
I mean. That's why
yeah.
I had to bring it up today because I was just like, no one ever talks about it anymore. And it
Well,
wasn't
there's so
that
many
long
good
ago.
things, happening right now, like PrEP and all these
Mhm.
different things that are happening to keep people safe.
Mhm.
Undetectable. All the things. U equals U. So
Mm.
it's you know.
Puck.
Yeah.
What's been the proudest moment of your career thus far?
Well, I guess I could say that meeting my idols, Boy George and Cher and all those things. But that's meeting those people. I've been very blessed to meet the people in my life, the people that I looked up to in my life, as my Debbie Harry, the people that I worshipped. And then
Mhm.
as far as the porn goes, just being able to be a safe sex advocate and keeping people safe and winning lots of awards and discovering some of the best talent and the biggest names. I mean, Joey Stefano, you know, was my baby practically. And then, he was messed up and I couldn't get him to stop. And that was very sad. So that's not a proud moment. But I'm an addict. So I know that you can't get people to stop unless they want to.
Mhm. Exactly. Who are the hottest porn stars?
Right now?
Right. Well, yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
they could be legends. They could be people that aren't with
Well, the
us.
legends are really not working anymore. But like
Top
probably the top
5 hottest of all time porn
of
stars.
all time. Well, Jeff Stryker, of course.
Mhm.
Joey Stefano, Leo Ford, Matthew Rush.
Top four. Chi Chi's top four porn stars.
Well, they're not. I mean, those are the guys that I believe are the legendaries. I mean, some of those
Mm-hmm.
people I don't like. Some of those people are a little nutso. But right now, there's people like Kate Maddox, and there's people like Tony
Oh,
Genius.
Kate Maddox. I love
Yes,
Kate Maddox so much.
yes, the best. Tony Genius, Drew Valentino, Dylan Diaz, Bo Butler, Cole Connor. There's a lot, a lot.
There's got to collect them all.
There's so many now. We used to be able to name the porn stars on blah
Hmm.
blah 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 blah, and then maybe start a second hand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I bet the porn awards have gotten even crazier because I remember
Oh,
I
they're
used to
crazy.
I used to go to those back in the day. Those were so fun.
Yeah, we just had one in Vegas, and now I'm getting ready to host the Grabby Awards in Chicago for the 25th year in a row.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. I've done it 25 times with Honey West, and it's coming up on Memorial Day weekend in Chicago. So it's going to be, I'm going to DJ the opening party, and I'm going to host the award show, and, be with, I love getting together with the porn community because it's fun. It's nice.
It's family.
Yes.
And it's always a good time. I've never had a bad time at porn awards.
Yes. It's fun because everyone's just so free and fun. And, drag and porn go together simultaneously.
They really do. And I think like I don't like I mean, I know that. I think like if you're in the scene, you know that, but like
Yeah.
some people don't know that.
No. But being someone that is in the scene and being part of both worlds and
Mm-hmm.
kind of bringing them together. I mean, my birthday parties that I used to have are, it was all the drag queens, all the porn stars, any
Mm-hmm.
little celebrity that was hanging around.
Well,
The Jake Shears.
porn stars understand drag queens and drag queens understand porn
Absolutely.
stars.
And some of the best drag queens are porn stars. And some
Mhm.
of the best porn stars are drag queens.
Yeah. And I just almost choked, but and you're living proof of that, not as a porn star, but as
But
as
if I would look like those guys, I would have been a porn star.
oh yeah, but those
Yeah.
those
I lived vicariously through
what is
them.
it? Those who can't teach.
Yeah, so I live vicariously through them, definitely.
Oh, what do you think's next for like as someone that's like witnessed, history within the drag community and the adult entertainment industry? Like, where do you see it going? Like, how do you see it evolving?
Well, unfortunately, it's evolving in a way that is kind of uh not good. I mean, OnlyFans did hurt the porn industry. It doesn't anymore, I don't think. Um, I think that guys that are smart are doing just for fans and doing the OnlyFans and doing studio work because they can promote themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a handful of boys that are making like, $25,000 to $40,000 a month with their OnlyFans, but
Mm-hmm.
not everyone.
Not like they used to.
No, I mean when you got someone like what's her name that did it and got $1 million, the redhead actress.
Oh, Bella
Yes,
Thorne.
Bella Thorne.
That was a huge shakeup because it's
Yep.
fucking with the market.
Well,
And
people were like mad. They thought they were going to see her have sex.
it's not. It's all just like, ooh,
It's
like maybe
posing.
it's like side boob. It's like, get
Yep.
out of here.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
But that's because people want to feel a part of this
People's life. Yeah.
underground. Yeah. But then, like, even Bella Thorne, like, she thought she was probably being risque by doing something like that.
Sure. Okay. Well,
But
she wasn't.
she wasn't.
No. I mean, there's people like Farrah Abramson that's like done full on hardcore porn that, she's probably doing whatever she's doing. But, TikTok and all the things that's all, it's all so complicated and it all gets so muddly mucked and, and then, we got to protect ourselves. We have to make sure that we tell people to vote, vote, vote. Otherwise, we're going to lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the old dump truck gets back in there.
And the drag world. I mean, you've literally watched the drag world completely change in the
Yes,
last
yes.
20
And what's
years.
unfortunate about it is local drag queens that aren't on RuPaul's Drag Race, they're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
They're hurting because to have a successful show, you've got to have a RuPaul's Drag Race drag queen, which I think is ridiculous because there's some local drag that is pretty freaking fierce.
Mm-hmm. And
So, I
sometimes it
mean,
doesn't translate to TV because that's where like me as a casting director is like, I look at it like some people like aren't reality TV personalities. They
sure.
they use
Oh,
their
yeah.
drag to like express themselves and
And there
they
were a couple girls on the last season of RuPaul's Drag Race that had this much personality. They could do a backflip and they could lip sync to a song, but they had nothing to offer the camera when, you know what I mean? It's like, I know in reality TV, you got to have something to offer the camera. When
mm-hmm,
the camera points at you, you need to show
mm-hmm,
out.
mm-hmm.
So,
What's next for Chi Chi LaRue? I mean, how long have you been sober now?
well, I will
It's
be
a
this
journey.
Saturday, I will be 10 months.
Fuck yeah.
But I had 2 years, I had 1 year, I had 10 days. I've had a lot, but it's part of my journey.
It's
You
all
know,
a journey. No one ever just quit. And honestly, my dad was sober for the last 20 years of his life and then
yeah.
relapsed at the very fucking end. And it's like,
Oh,
you know what I
is that what
mean?
killed him?
No, but it was like, now that I'm looking back, like I don't know the real story.
Yeah,
I just know that like knew my dad got cancer and then all of a sudden I was like starting to notice like different behavior. So I don't know if it was like he was
sure.
like fuck it.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna do
You
the.
know, and like I don't know. I
Who
know
knows? I might, if something like that. If I was, diagnosed with a terminal disease, who knows what I would do?
you know why? Talking about documentaries, I was watching that Wendy Williams documentary, which was insane.
Yes.
By the end of it, I was like, give that poor woman a drink. Like her life is never going to be the same. Like you
Yeah.
could
No.
tell she's dealing with dementia. She doesn't even know that she wants the alcohol. Like it's like just,
Right.
you know what I mean? And so like
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but it's forever journey. And you should always sell like I'm proud of you for bringing up like those years that like they still count is what I'm trying to say. Is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I absolutely. I believe that also. I count time, but that's just for, when you go to an AA meeting, you say, I've got 10 months sober, and
yeah.
it helps people to hear that, you know. But I believe that my journey is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on it. I'm on it because it's my journey. It's not anybody else's, and nobody else. I don't want my journey to be for anyone else, and I really don't want anyone else's journey. I just want to, you
You
know,
on your own.
be Larry and She.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Don't eat so much. No, I mean, it was very hard living in an Italian family. Lots of food. No, but I there's lots of things. I wish that I had never started doing cocaine. I wish that I had never started drinking. But those were some of the best parts of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Fun and did some amazing things, you know? So I mean, I did cocaine in a bathroom stall with Debbie Harry.
Please tell me.
So,
Please tell me more. How
you
did that
know,
happen? How did that happen?
oh, we were at a club and I was drinking. I was like, I was drinking a Diet Coke and I said, "Do you want a Coke?" Not that kind. And then we eventually, that was with Bubba. You know Bubba?
No, I don't think so.
Bubba McNeely,
Uh-uh.
Jimmy James's friend.
Oh, I love Jimmy James, but
Yeah. Well,
I
Bubba
don't.
McNeely was Bubba. Bubba was, and he called Coke bull juice.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you like want to regret something, but then it's attached to so many great fucking
No, you
things
know
that
what?
happen in your
I
life.
don't
And
regret.
it's part of the journey. Like
Yes.
you obviously needed that to numb something in your life at that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And fuck yeah, that you don't
Well,
need to you
it also made me more popular. It made me be able to be more, like out
well,
there.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's you got to hang out with Debbie Harry. That was me. Like, I only did Coke because I thought it made me cooler. And all the drag queens were doing it. And so, like,
Yep.
if I had Coke, then they'd want to hang out with me and
Yeah.
vice
Oh, yeah.
versa. And
Ding,
vice
ding, ding,
versa.
ding, ding.
I had this epiphany one day and I'm like, I don't even think you ever really liked cocaine, Chanel. Like, I think you liked
And I don't
everything
really even think that people that wanted your Coke liked me,
yeah,
you know? Because they would always
exactly.
come to me, hey, you got a bump? And it's like, who are you? Who are you? So, yeah,
You lose a lot of friends when you stop having a bag of cocaine.
you lose a lot of friends when you stop drinking.
It's very true. No, that's why I
Yeah.
start this podcast because I was like, I don't want to have to go out to catch up with my friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and it's such a bar, like, I'm still in West Hollywood. I still enjoy going out, but like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like do something else that I didn't have to like go to the club to like catch
Yeah.
up.
And
And
I do not like to go to the club unless I'm working.
I
It's just
now
not
I
fun
need
for
the
me.
intention. I'm at this point in my life now. I'm 37. Like when I go out, I want the option of getting laid. Like
Sure.
and it's not going to happen all the time. And most of the time, I just end up going home alone. But knowing the option is there, like
Sometimes that's better depending on the options.
oh, oh my God. It was so fun to catch up with you.
Well, you too, honey. Thank you so much for asking me to do this.
I know. And I feel like I got to like learn so much more about you. And who knew
Yeah.
we were
Well, I
Italian
always thought
sisters.
you were always a fun girl. You were always the, life of the party along with me and the other drag queens, so.
Well, you were always like
What
that.
did they
Like,
used to call you? Shut up, Chanel?
yeah.
Shut up, Chanel.
Well, I like to end each episode with you telling me to shut up. So you just did it for me.
Fabulous. Shut up, Chanel.
What anything you want to plug? Anything you got coming up that you want to tell the kids about?
Well, gay days. If you've never been to gay days in Orlando, it's really fun. It's
So I've done that before. See, we've done so many things together that we just don't even remember.
I've got, the Grabby Awards in Chicago during Memorial Day weekend at the same time as IML, which is the International Mr. Leather, which it's packed and fabulous in Chicago then. What else?
Is there anything else you want to achieve in your life besides best director?
You know what? I've achieved pretty much everything I've wanted to. I've been very blessed to get a lot of things that I've wanted and desired, and I'm very, very blessed and very, to have gotten all that. So I'm good.
I love that. Well, who knows? Who knows what
Right?
else
Who
is in
knows
store?
what's around the corner,
Who
though,
the
girl? Right?
fuck knows? Well, I love you so much.
I love you too, and I hope I get to see you in person someplace.
Yes. If you're coming, if next time you come to LA, make sure you call me. If I ever leave LA, I'll find out what city you're in.
All right.
I love you. I love you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Chanel. Shut up.
I love you.